everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome to my day on A Very Crafty Holiday. Today we are going to be creating gift card holders and I'm going to be using the new gift card pocket Die-namics to create 3 different gift card holders. One of the things that I like to do when I create any type of pocket or card that I'm going to put a gift card in is I like to kind of create it to kind of match the gift card if I can. So that's kind of what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to create 3 different gift card holders that are going to kind of coordinate with those 3 gift cards that I had on screen there. So the first thing I'm going to do is die cut the gift card pocket from 2 pieces of white cardstock and 1 piece of red. And I'll assemble one of these on screen just so you can see how quick and easy it is to put them together. So when you die cut it, you get all of the score lines that you need. There's 2 down the side as well as 1 in the middle there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over those little side pieces first. That's going to be the 2 areas where we add the adhesive to close our gift card pocket. So I just kind of fold it over and then use a bone folder to really press down on that crease. And I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Then I can fold over that fold in the middle and crease that one, and then all we need to do is adhere it together. So I'm going to use some score tape here, but you could use liquid glue, whatever you have on hand that would work. 1/8" score tape fits perfectly onto these little side pieces here, so I'm just going to add a piece to each side, and then I'll fold this closed and we are going to be able to adhere it. You just want to make sure that you remove that adhesive backing first, and then once that's off there, just fold it up and it will completely create a pocket on the back that the gift card is going to be able to fit nicely inside of, and then you have the front area that you can use to decorate. So I went ahead and assembled the other 2 off camera, and now we're going to start to decorate the first little gift card pocket. To decorate the first pocket, I'm going to be using the Snowflake window Die-namics. This is a die that came out last year, but it is actually a really great size for the gift card pocket because it almost fits perfectly on the front. So what I did is I die cut it from a piece of white cardstock just so I can have a subtle tone-on-tone background. And you can see here when I put it up against the gift card pocket that it almost fits perfectly. We just have a little bit of area at the very top that's a little bit too long. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. There's a lot of room at the top of the pocket that even if you trim some of it off, the gift card is still going to fit nicely in behind there and you won't be able to see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add liquid glue to the back of this piece. This is very intricate. There are a lot of small pieces. So you just want to make sure you fully get glue on all of them so you don't have any kind of lifting up once you've created your gift card pocket. Once I have all the glue on there, I'm just going to lay it on top of the pocket, press down really firmly to make sure it's fully adhered, and then I can take my paper trimmer and just trim off that little bit of extra on the top, and it's going to look like this snowflake window was made to go on this gift card pocket. You can also keep it long if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to trim off that top. I just wanted to have an even margin all the way around the snowflake window, so that's why I preferred to have it taken off there. So you can see now I just used my trimmer, trimmed that off, and now we have a perfect little gift card pocket that's going to work for our first gift card. It's going to match nicely with the gift card that I have there to put in it, and I'm going to decorate a little bit more on the front. So I'm going to be using the mistletoe Die-namics. This is one of my favorite dies from this year. It just recently released with our card kit, but you can buy it separately as well. And I love this because it's a very simple die cut, but it really adds a lot of holiday elegance to your projects. So I want to have this so it's a little bit dimensional and I don't want to fiddle with a lot of pieces of small foam tape. So I'm just going to take 3 of the mistletoe pieces and I'm going to adhere them all together one on top of another. I'm going to use some liquid glue since it is small. The liquid glue is a little easier to control. And I'm just going to adhere them one on top of another until I have all 3 together. Once I have them all together, I'm going to put liquid glue on the back of all 3 pieces and I'm going to add it to the front of this gift card pocket. I'm going to use my grid mat to kind of get this centered, and I want to kind of make sure that I have it going straight up and down. And then once I'm happy with where it is, I'm going to press down firmly and adhere that on there. We will trim off that little extra piece there once we have everything put together, but I'm going to go ahead and add the berries on here next. Since the berries are super small, I find it much easier to use my tweezers to hang onto them, and then I just put them over top of the tip of my little glue pen there, and I just add the glue directly onto them, and then I can place them down onto the mistletoe. I put a bunch of berries on there until I was happy with how many I had, and then the last thing I'm going to do is add the little sparkly bow to the top part. So I'm going to adhere that directly on top of the mistletoe piece, and then I'm going to stamp out a sentiment that we can add to the front of this. I'm going to use the same red that I used for the berries, so this is wild cherry cardstock, and I stamped out the sentiment onto the cardstock piece there with some Versamark ink, which is just a clear sticky ink. Once I had the ink on there, I covered it with white embossing powder. I heat set it with my heat tool and I die cut it with the smallest of the skinny strips Die-namics to create this little sentiment banner. To add it on here, I'm going to use some foam adhesive just because I have the dimension on the mistletoe. I want to create a little bit of dimension behind the sentiment as well. And then once I have that on there, the last thing I want to do is kind of make it look like there is some snow on the mistletoe. And because it is so small, I decided just to use a gel pen to do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some highlights to the berries as well as some of the mistletoe leaves. And then once I have that done, I'm just going to quickly dot a bunch of little dots all over the green and red areas just to kind of make it look like there is snow sitting on top of it. Once we have all that dot detail finished, we're left with a gift card pocket that's going to nicely coordinate with the gift card that we're going to put inside of it. I love how simple it is, but how elegant it looks with that mistletoe dotted with snow. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to gift card number 2. This one is going to be the same gift card pocket as well as the same snowflake window. I've already put together the pocket and glued the window on top. The only difference this time is we've used a red pocket and the snowflake window is silver sparkle cardstock. For this one, I'm going to create a little coffee cup that we can add to it. So I have the mini cafe all day Die-namics. I have a white piece of cardstock that is the base of the cup as well as the lid. And I have a piece of Desert Storm cardstock to create the little cozy around the cup. I added a little bit of brown ink to the cozy just to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. And I also added a little bit of gray shading on the coffee cup. I stamped a little snowflake from the Hug in a Mug stamp set onto the coffee cozy with some Versamark ink. Added white embossing powder, removing any of the little extra pieces there. And then I heat set that with my heat tool. So now I have this white embossed snowflake right in the center of my coffee cup. So now all we need to do is put this together. I need a sentiment, so I've stamped one out onto a piece of jelly bean green cardstock. I've die cut it with the Skinny Strips Die-namics, and now I'm going to adhere both the coffee cup and the sentiment strip to the front of our gift card pocket with some foam adhesive. I added the coffee cup on first so I could layer the sentiment strip over top, and I made sure to put only foam adhesive on the two ends of the sentiment strip so that it would adhere nicely over top of the coffee cup. The last thing I want to do on this one is add some more snow detail with my gel pen. So I'm taking it and just dotting all of the red area in between the snowflakes really quickly with the white gel pen, and it just kind of adds a flurry of snow in the background. Okay, so that is the first two that we did with the snowflake window. Now we're going to create a third one, which is a little bit more kid-based. It's kind of more fun and playful. And what I'm doing here is I'm starting to assemble a snowman that I've die cut from the Character Crew Snowman Die-namics. So I've die cut all the pieces out of the different colors of cardstock you see here on screen. All of these little components come with the die set, except for the little piece of holly that's there on screen. That's from the Tweet Holiday stamp set. So I'm just going to quickly add a little bit of Copic detail to some of the pieces just to add a little bit of shading. And then I'm going to kind of go back and forth putting the pieces onto the gift card pocket just to figure out where I want everything to be placed before I adhere them down. I did trim down the top of the gift card pocket a bit before I started this, just because I didn't want the snowman to be as long. So I just made sure that I didn't trim it down too far that you would be able to see the gift card. I'm just taking all of the pieces for the hat now and adding them on. And then I'm also adding that piece of holly that I've stamped and die cut, and I'm going to put that onto his hat with some little berries on top. I'm using liquid glue to glue everything on here. It's quick and easy, and it allows me to kind of move stuff around to get it perfectly placed onto the gift card pocket. So lastly, I'm just adding the little pieces onto his face. I'm going to put his nose on first once I have it figured out where I want them to be placed. I'm using my tweezers and liquid glue once again just because it's so much easier to kind of hold on to the really small pieces, and I can just dab the glue right onto the gift card pocket before adhering everything down. So once I have all the pieces on there, our little snowman is complete. We have this really cute character that has a gift card that's going to be hidden behind. Now when I flipped it over, I realized that the hat looks kind of weird on the back of it, so I wanted to make it look very finished. So I ended up cutting out a second hat from black cardstock as well as a second strip of the silver sparkle cardstock, and I went ahead and adhered that onto the back just to make it look nice and finished when you flip it over to get the gift card. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take a white gel pen and add some highlight details to his little bow tie there, to the little holly berries up top, and to his little buttons. And I realized when I was done all of the gift card pockets, I forgot to stamp the to and from on the back, so I'm very carefully doing it now even though they're all assembled. So the to and from is from the Holiday Tag Talk stamp set, and I love it because it's actually one stamp, so you don't have to try and fiddle to get the to and from lined up. And now we have 3 completed gift card pockets that we can use during the holiday season. You can write your message on the back where the to and from is stamped, and you can see that the gift cards fit nicely in behind each of them. We have the first one here with the mistletoe with a little bit of snow dotted on top as well as the red sentiment banner. We have the second one here which also uses the snowflake window, but this is more coffee themed. And we have a coffee gift card to add to the back of it. I love this one because we use the silver sparkle for the snowflake window, so it's really sparkly and shiny. And then for the last one, we did it a little bit more kid-based. We used the Snowman from the Creative Crew Die-namics. We decorated the front of that with the snowman and stamped the to and from on the back. And once again, it coordinates nicely with the little gift card that we're going to tuck inside. So I hope today's video gave you some ideas on ways that you can create gift card holders for all of the gift cards you give during the holidays. Gift cards don't have to be boring. You can create really fun packaging that the recipient is going to love. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video for A Very Crafty Holiday. As always, I appreciate you being here and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.